Have you made your greatest contributions, do you think, or are they yet to come?
Well, that's a big question. I think, I sort of think of my life as measured by, what's already happened, but not measured by what is going to happen, obviously. And when I think about what's happened, it's easy to sort of find something you can say that was a big contribution and that affected a lot of people and that changed a lot of lives. and I can say that about, building a business. I can say that about, my charitable work and, the stuff I've done to date. But I'm more excited about what's going to come. Like I'm more excited about the things that I'm doing right now because I think they're going to be very impactful as well. And that's not just on the philanthropic side, but also on the investing and technology and biotech and all these areas that I've developed an interest in of late. And it's kind of it's I call it downtown Toronto's version of mining. It's like it's mining for gold all over the place in intellectual property and technology. I get hugely excited about those things, and I think I'd like to believe that that's going to be a much more enduring legacy, for me at least, than anything I've already done.
How about you, Brett?
I think there's still a lot to come. I've built what I think I consider a phenomenal relationship with each of my 3 children and their partners, and that's all very, very important to me. Simplify and organize is kind of my mantra right now in terms of my current process in the next few years. But ultimately, I want to be able to harvest the excess wealth. So I've got to set aside enough to keep me going for another, hopefully 30 or 40 years. But everything above what's enough, again, these are all hard numbers to measure and quantify, but everything above that I would like to, while I'm alive, be involved with distributing through the concept of prizing, distributing through setting up new initiatives in what might be called socially responsible business or strategic investing. But I want to be alive to enjoy the fruits of the labor in terms of giving it back into the community. I almost hate to say the word shameful. If someone gives their entire estate to charity when they die, that's wonderful. But it's such a lost opportunity. And I think engaging in that opportunity while alive, again, it's the evolution of retirement. And I have a lot of friends who talk about working till the day they die, but how they define work is very different today than when they were working for a paycheck or running a company or a business. But now they're guiding and directing their lives for the betterment of the world, which is something they get a kick out of, which is something they enjoy, they're rewarded by. It's a different world out there, and I think it's an incredible opportunity to be part of.
Assuming you guys both live fruitful, well into your 80s or 90s, do you think you're going to have enough time to make the differences that you're capable of making and that you want to make?
I can't imagine not having that impact, principally because, and this might be a function of I call it my personal ADD, although I'm not ADD. I'm ADD-ish. I just like to have a lot of balls in the air all the time. I get to the point of exhaustion trying to juggle things, but I love having so many things going on at the same time. I'm very confident that a lot of the balls I'm throwing up in the air right now are really exciting, impactful, and will be dramatic game changers in different industries and in medical science, et cetera. And my goal has always been to kind of duplicate what I've done in the past, and from a financial perspective, but for a different reason. I'm delighted to do all these things, to give back in some way. And the generational decision that we've talked a lot about is one of the big challenges. It's how you leave your children a motivated legacy, as opposed to a legacy of, doing nothing or feeling like they don't have to do anything. And that's, neither of us would be happy there, and none of our kids would be happy there either.
I think I'll build on John's analogy of juggling balls and suggest that where I want to go is to convert those balls to cubes. So when I set them down, they don't roll away and I lose control of them. Because that's one of my biggest frustrations. I just feel like we've got it set down. I turn to catch these two. This one's rolled off. So if I can set them so they stay in place, and who knows, maybe build on them so they all stay stacked and they just calm down. And that's going to allow me
to provide a foundation.
It's a foundation.
For something new.
Absolutely. Yeah. One of the places I've probably spent more time on as a single project in the hundreds of things I do is wealth transfer. And that's been about setting up for me a framework for giving my wealth while I'm alive to my children. But when I say giving my wealth, I should have prefaced it with giving a very small portion, what I think is in an appropriate format that involves some lifestyle support. And notice I said support, not lifestyle replacement, but lifestyle support, something for charity and something for savings, because I'm not going to burden them with what I've made, but I'll give them enough. And there's a great line Warren Buffett uses. So it's not easy to follow, but Warren Buffett says, I want to give my children enough money that they can do anything, but not so much that they do nothing. So that's one side, is wealth transfer. The other is, what do I do with what I have? I've come across the X Prize in the prizing world of using prizes to guide the self-interest of others. So in other words, I could put out a prize in the pursuit of finding the Holy Grail in prostate cancer. I could put a prize out there and ask the world, the research world, to go chase that prize. So I'm basing the future of research in a certain area around my self-interest using my money. So people can choose or not choose to participate. There's no part of the world as to where we're advancing that we couldn't use prizing. And so when I think about my relationships, the intellect I have developed, the wealth I do enjoy, and if I can layer all of those together or integrate those together in the world of prizing, I think I could have a very fulfilling life.
That sounds exciting, actually. Well, thank you, guys. An hour goes pretty fast. I knew it would, but I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
I enjoyed that.
That's good.